Hi folks, Chef Ian here, and today we're going to make one of the classic French mother sauces, the Bechamel sauce. So pretty simple process, but there's a few little tricks of the trade that we're going to go through. First off is our ingredients for Bechamel sauce is butter, flour, equal parts, milk, onion, bay leaf and cloves. So our first part of the Bechamel is that we make what we call an infusion with our milk. So we're just going to put that on the stove here. And what we're looking for the milk is that we don't just want to simmer it. So we're not going to put that on high heat. We just want it to simmer. But what really makes the classic French Bechamel sauce is this little step that a lot of people don't do or don't know about. And that's the onion cloute. So the onion cloute is an onion. And what I've left here is I've left actually the root in there and the tail section. I'm going to chop that in half. You might have heard the cloute before. People call it a studded onion, but the French call it a cloute. And all it is it's an onion that we studded with bay leaf and clove. And when you add this to the milk, gives us a really lovely new dimension, I guess, to the sauce. If you miss this step, you'll really notice it. So there's our studded onion, or cloute. We're just going to drop that in the milk. Now we're going to heat this milk for about 15 minutes, just on a low simmer. So after 15 minutes, we'll come back and I'll show you the next stage. See you soon. Okay, so our milk has simmered away there for about 15-20 minutes. So we're just going to strain that through now, just so we remove the onion cloute and if there's any of the cloves have come loose. And you can smell that aroma of that milk. It's actually got this really richness to it. It's lovely. Okay, so the next stage of our Bechamel is to make our roux. So equal parts of butter and flour. In this case, plain flour we're using, not self-raising. I'm going to melt that down. Now, again, if you were making this sauce vegetarian, well, you can certainly use margarine. And again, if you're gluten intolerant, you can use gluten-free flour for this. And replace the milk, you can actually make this with soya. So you can cover all those bases, making a bechamel to cover all those areas. Okay. Just going to turn that down a little bit. Now we've melted our butter. Now, just using a whisk, we're just going to add our flour. Just going to add that gradually in till it's combined with the butter. If you do it gradually, you should be able to make sure that you don't get any lumps. Okay. Now we're making what they call white roux, so we're just going to quickly stir that through. You might have heard the term blonde roux. That's actually cooking this part of it a little bit longer, so you're actually putting a little bit of colour into the flour and butter mix. All right, so we've got to that stage now. Again, going to reintroduce our milk. We're just going to gradually stir that in and mix in and blend through the flour. Now, if that flour has mixed in, well, there's no lumps, and we've got the basis there of our bechamel. Now, if it's a little bit thick than what you've just seen just here, you can add a little bit more milk, or you can add a little bit of water, which I'll do here. Just so you smooth it out. Now, depending on what you're going to be using this bechamel for, you can be adding cream to it to make it more creamier, white sauce or bechamel. This is, as I say, is the base of lots of other sauces. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Now, I'm not going to season this just yet. I'm just going to leave this on the stove, just stirring it so it doesn't get caught on the base, just for about another 5 minutes or so. So just want to cook that flour out of it. And it's again important that you do this. If you don't cook the sauce out, you'll have what they call a raw taste to it. It's not really pleasant to the tongue. So this is, again, important you do. So I'm going to do this for about 5 minutes. I'll come back and I'll show you the finished sauce. Okay, so our bechamel has cooked out. And as you can see here, this is the sort of consistency I'm looking for in the sauce. Smooth, no lumps. Now, if you want a more pourable bechamel, certainly add a bit more milk or water to it. If you want it thicker, again, obviously you can just keep on cooking it a little bit more and cook more of the liquid out of it. But that's about the consistency that I'm looking for. Now, to finish it off, I'm just going to be using just a little bit of salt, a pinch of white pepper. We use white pepper in bechamel, not black pepper, because you don't want those black spots appearing in your sauce. Now, the French always finish off their bechamel with a pinch of nutmeg. Again, if you're not a nutmeg fan, you can take that part out of it. So I'm just going to stir that all through. Now, bechamel, as I said, is a mother sauce. So from this, you can turn this into many other things. Classic one I can think of straight away is you can make a lovely cheese sauce with this. Add your grated cheese into this. You can add mushrooms to this, make a mushroom sauce. Chop parsley. You probably all heard, parsley sauce, especially on things like corned beef. It's an old classic. A little bit of seeded mustard to make sauce. A bit of cream as well, if you want to make a creamier sauce with a little bit of dill through it to pour over some seafood. So that is your bechamel. It's a really simple sauce to use, but if you just follow all the tips that I just did, especially with onion cloute, you're going to get a lot more flavour out of it. One thing I should just give you as a chef's tip though, my mum used to make this sauce and pour it over cauliflower, which was really nice, and everyone I'm sure has had cauliflower Mornay. I would normally, instead of the milk, I would use the water that you cook the cauliflower in, especially if you boiled them, to add to this. And it'll give you a lot more different, more flavour to your sauce as well, and you'll get more of that cauliflower. Plus you're using up all those wonderful vitamins and minerals that have actually gone in the cauliflower water that you're throwing away. So that's a little simple tip there that I'd use. But bechamel, so versatile, so easy to make, and you can easily do this at home and really wow all your friends and guests. All the best. Cheers.